Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about cafes within a co-working space and in a building because it's starting to enter a lot of conversations around should a third space or a flex operator be doing the cafe and what are the advantages, and also the reality of how it stacks up as a business and why it exists within a co-working space. By no means am I a hospitality expert. I tip my hat to the experts out there because food is super tough, and anyone who pretends food is easy is lying to you or is crazy. So we're going to look at a building, and I just want to talk about two key scenarios when it comes to cafes. The first one is one that you're probably hearing a lot about or you experience. Let's say there's some flex within this floor and there's a cafe, okay? The cafe on that floor is not making any margin or profit. I can promise you that right now. Because when you think about it as a food and beverage business, the only foot traffic they're really getting here is maybe some tenants coming in, depending on how that's positioned, but it's mainly internally to the flex customers and members there. And the reason why that still exists, and it's fine for this business case, because you look at it holistically, is because the cafe means you can increase the desk rates or the meeting room rates, because it's all about the experience. Because if you buy an office or a desk in there and there's a cafe, even if it's manned by one person, so the OpEx costs are low, it kind of raises the argument that, hey, the experience up there is better because you get a bit of hospitality or whatnot. So rather than, paying $600 a desk, pay $700 or whatever. So it floats the business case overall. So when you think about it, if you've got your flex income here and you've got your cafe income here, because this is holistically your total income when you have a flex business, even if the cafe is at a negative, if the flex is at a positive and it's been lifted more because of the cafe, then your total income overall benefits. So that's the main reason why the cafe is okay to operate at a loss. So when you think about food on floor, it's not making money. When it gets interesting is when you have your ground floor, if you have a cafe down here, right? And there's an opportunity for the flex operator to do that as well, because a lot of operators are peddling hospitality right now. There is an opportunity for this to make money because a lot of your costs will be fixed, but suddenly you're no longer just marketing food and beverage and cafe stuff to flex members and tenants within the building. You have an opportunity for them, if they bring on the right experts and partners, to capture all of this on-site street traffic. So essentially running a proper cafe business, right? So if you can capture that, you can capture the flex, and there's also a kitchen here. So you can cater into the building, which is huge because a lot of businesses, outsource their catering because there isn't this capability within the building, or a good one at least. So if you've got a bunch of tenants in there spending, 30 to 60 grand a year on catering, and you capture all of that within your kitchen without increasing your operating costs too high, then suddenly the margin for the cafe, because you've got lots of channels of income and omni-channels, increases, right? So it actually starts looking like a really good business, which floats the flex income even more if it's holistically wrapped up into that business, okay? So that's the way I just want you to think about cafes within a building and the opportunity there. And it is interesting because for new developments, imagine all these tenants here who, especially if you're targeting blue chips, who used to put kitchens in their tenancies, now no longer have to, because part of the RFP or whatever, there's a commercial kitchen operated by someone, totally gangster down here that could do seasonal menus and everything. They can now start using that rather than spending money on their fit out here, so you'll actually gain a customer out of this potentially. So if you get in front of it, you could almost make the cafe stack up. So even if it becomes a conversation not for the flex operator, but you're looking for a cafe operator to take a lease on that because you want a really good brand in there, well, the value proposition for them is like, hey, we'll give you this. We'll also make sure that when we look for tenants within the building, we'll have the brokers talk to them about the commercial kitchen and the cafe offering there. And maybe part of the value proposition is that they don't put a kitchen in there and they try and push that narrative. So then as an operator, suddenly you're no longer just responsible for street traffic and hoping to get some tenants. You're going to be doing catering in the building too. So hopefully that helps. Cool.